Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 strict royal rules Meghan Markle must follow. So, Meghan Markle is the newest member of the royal family. The royal family have so much money and power, you may assume they can do whatever they want. But you would be surprised to learn that royal family members have to follow a bunch of rules. Some of these rules may inconvenience their day-to-day lives, and others are quite simply ridiculous and will change how they live life forever. Before we get into it, why not crown me with a subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have selfies and autographs. The royal family may not be made up of actors and musicians, but they are still celebrities. Nowadays, they don't hold any kind of political power, but the media love them and they have many fans around the world. Not only are they loved by many in the UK and Commonwealth countries, they're loved in other countries which don't have any connection to the royal family. So you may assume that like most celebrities, they sign many autographs and take selfies. Well, believe it or not, the royal family are not allowed to sign autographs or take selfies. This will be a big change for Meghan Markle, seeing as she used to be a famous actress. But you better put that selfie stick away if you see Meghan Markle walking down the street. They're not allowed to sign autographs for security reasons. You wouldn't want anyone stealing the identity of the Queen of England. They're also not allowed to take selfies. This is for two reasons. Firstly, a matter of security as people get very close to her. This is for two reasons. Firstly, for security as people need to get close for a selfie. And also it takes a ton of time, and if one person gets one, then everyone wants one. However, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have broken this rule on several occasions. Even after Meghan Markle joined the royal family, she has still been signing autographs and taking selfies. Let's hope the Queen doesn't catch wind of this, otherwise Meghan Markle may be in trouble. Next up is P.D.A. Celebrities are just like you and I. They walk around the streets, sometimes with their significant other, and when they do, sometimes they show public displays of affection. If you look at celebrity magazines, I'm sure you see many famous PDAs. There may be Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin kissing. Or maybe Shawn Mendes and Hailey Baldwin kissing. Wow, she gets around. Either way, if you're in the royal family, you cannot show any public displays of affection. This could be something as big as a kiss to something as small as holding someone's hand. That's right, royal couples even refrain from holding each other's hands. You'll see this with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. And you'll also see it with Prince William and Kate Middleton. However, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have broken this rule on various occasions. They've showed various signs of public displays of affection. They have showed various public displays of affection with people all around them. And recently, Meghan Markle was even criticised for hanging onto Harry's arm way too much. Now that Meghan Markle is in Buckingham Palace, maybe this old-fashioned rule will become a thing of the past. Next up, we have Queen eating. Being in the royal family actually involves quite a lot of eating. You have to travel to various different countries and areas and try their local cuisine. And you'll also have many royal banquets with important people including the Queen. But there's one very special royal rule everyone must follow when eating with the Queen. That is that no one can eat after the Queen has finished her meal. That's right, when dining as a family, everyone needs to stop eating after the Queen has taken her last bite. You better hope the Queen's not a fast eater, otherwise no one will finish their meal in time. I think this is kind of a crazy rule, and I'm not sure why they still do this. But according to many royal insiders who work in Buckingham Palace and for the royal family, they still do this tradition. Just imagine if you weren't allowed to eat after your mom had finished her food. It's a crazy rule, but it's something Meghan Markle will definitely have to adapt to. Perhaps her and Prince Harry will prefer eating alone and not with the Queen. Next up is shellfish. So here's another food-related royal rule. You may think the royal family have access to any food they want, but did you know that shellfish is off limits? The reason why is because shellfish is more likely to cause food poisoning than any other food. The royal family's security want to keep them in pristine condition, and this does not involve getting them poisoned by shellfish. Prince Charles did actually once break this rule at an oyster festival, but so far Meghan Markle has not broken this royal rule. Next up is all black attire. Meghan Markle is known for her fashion tastes and her style. Even her best friend and bridesmaid was stylist Jessica Maloney. But when Meghan travels abroad nowadays, she may have to leave some of that Gucci and Louis Vuitton at home. That is because when a royal travels abroad, they're expected to pack an all-black outfit. That's right, when a member of the royal family travels to a different country, they have to bring at least one all-black outfit. This is in case of a sudden passing the royal family may need to attend. They must always be prepared with an outfit which would be appropriate for a funeral. It's kind of a macabre rule, but the royal family must follow it. But by the looks of how many suitcases Meghan Markle brings with her when she travels, this won't be a problem. Next up is cleavage. So we know that Meghan Markle loves fashion and is very stylish. But sometimes if you're wearing a stylish dress or top, you may have to show some cleavage. That's just how some dresses are made and sometimes how they're meant to be worn. But I'm afraid cleavage is not a part of the royal dress code. In fact, it's strictly prohibited and Meghan Markle won't be allowed to show any cleavage. People in the royal family are supposed to be modest. That doesn't really make sense when they're wearing gold hats and living in giant palaces. But when it comes to showing off cleavage, they're not allowed to do this, even if it's made into the dress. Princess Diana was famous for using her bags to hide her cleavage when exiting a car, but something tells me Meghan Markle's stylist may pick out things which don't show any cleavage for her. Coming up next, we have Face the Queen. So we already know that many of these royal rules involve the Queen. After all, she is the matriarch of the royal family. You're not allowed to eat after the Queen's finished her meal. But another thing Meghan Markle cannot do is turn her back on the Queen. After a conversation with the Queen has ended, she must be the first to leave. No one is allowed to turn their back on the Queen as this breaks royal protocol. This is a rule Donald Trump broke when he visited the UK in 2018. But don't worry Donald, it's also a rule Meghan Markle's broken. Meghan Markle has been seen breaking this rule several times. Luckily, the Queen didn't seem too annoyed as this is kind of an old-fashioned rule. But generally speaking, you are not supposed to turn your back on the Queen. Next up is early Christmas. So Christmas Day is one of the most fun days in any kid's life. It's when they get to race downstairs and open up all their Christmas presents. But if you're a royal child like Meghan Markle's baby's going to be, then sorry, but that's not what you're doing. And it's also not what Meghan Markle will be doing. Instead, the royal family have a different Christmas tradition. They go into what's called the red drawing room of their Christmas home. They then exchange gifts, but they do this on Christmas Eve. That's right, on Christmas Day they do other things, including go to church. But Christmas Eve is the day for presents, meaning every royal kid gets an early Christmas. Next up is language. So the royal family do a lot of traveling. It's pretty much the main thing they always do. Well, that's why it's one rule of the royal family to speak multiple languages. If they don't already, members of the royal family are expected to learn multiple languages. This is not only seen as a great asset when traveling abroad, but also a way to broaden their mind. Luckily, Meghan Markle has not broken this rule. Before she became a big-time actress, she had a job at the US Embassy in Buenos Aires. This allowed her to practice her Argentinian Spanish and perfect it. So if Meghan Markle goes to Argentina or any other Spanish-speaking country, she should blend right in. Next up is teacup etiquette. So one thing the UK loves is tea, and if English people didn't already love tea so naturally, I'm sure it would be a rule that the royal family must love tea. Well, in the royal family, the way you hold a teacup is very important. While you may just grab the handle or the side of the cup, the royal family cannot do this. Instead, they must pinch the teacup handle with their index finger and thumb. Their middle finger then must be used to secure the bottom. Let's hope they're drinking out of small cups, otherwise this is a very fiddly thing to do. Seeing as Meghan Markle is from the USA where tea is not loved as much as in the UK, maybe she has broken this rule. But we'll have to keep a close eye on Meghan Markle next time she drinks tea to see if she's following this royal rule. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most surprising royal family rule. I think it's the selfie rule because I had no idea about that. And they may have to disappoint many fans. If you guys want more amazing videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.